The landscape of the Iraqi dinar investment is a tectonic plate, constantly shifting under our feet, and what Guru Nader has just revealed is nothing short of a magnitude 10 earthquake that has shattered the very foundation of what we thought we knew. For years we've been collecting, hoarding, and safeguarding our dinar notes with a hopeful eye on the future, operating on a general belief that a rising tide of revaluation would lift all boats. But that era is over. The confidential list that has just been leaked to a select few, a list that I have now obtained, draws a stark, unyielding line in the sand, creating a brutal and immediate dichotomy between life, changing wealth, and catastrophic financial loss. This isn't about a simple currency adjustment. This is a fundamental purge, a systematic and deliberate act of rendering specific series of dinar notes completely and utterly worthless, nullifying them from any future financial equation while simultaneously anointing a select few others as the golden tickets to unprecedented riches. The shockwave from this revelation is still propagating through the inner circles of high finance, and the clock is ticking for every single investor holding physical dinar to perform a critical audit of their holdings before they find themselves holding little more than beautifully printed, yet financially inert pieces of paper. The gravity of this situation cannot be overstated. We are not discussing a minor devaluation or a simple fee for exchange. We are confronting the absolute cancellation of certain note series, a demonetization so complete that these certificates will have no legal tender status, no collector's value in the immediate term, and will be treated as void by the Central Bank of Iraq and all international financial institutions. The secret list that Guru Nader has exposed is the Rosetta Stone for dinar investors, and it decodes a reality that is both terrifying and exhilarating. On one side of this list are the dead notes, the series that were overprinted, compromised, or tied to older, discredited contracts that the new Iraqi government is aggressively moving to disavow and remove from the global monetary system. Holding onto these notes is akin to holding onto a stock certificate for a company that has been declared bankrupt and dissolved. The entity it represents no longer exists in a functional capacity. The serial numbers on these condemned notes are your primary red flag, the telltale sign that your investment is in mortal peril. I will be revealing the specific prefixes and number ranges you must scrutinize, because ignorance of this list is a luxury no one can afford. Every moment you delay this verification is a moment you risk your entire stake in this venture turning to dust. Yet, within this crisis lies the most profound opportunity we have ever seen. For while one set of notes is being marched to the gallows, another is being coronated. The same secret list that condemns the obsolete series explicitly identifies the one rare note that has been designated as the cornerstone of the new monetary framework. This isn't just a note that will be revalued. It is the note that is structurally integral to the coming financial reset. Its security features, its series designation, and the political agreements it underpins make it untouchable and indispensable. This is the note that, according to the intelligence within Guru Nader's leak, will form the basis for the asset-backed currency the new Iraq is building. Identifying this note is the single most important task for an investor right now. It is the difference between being a spectator and a beneficiary. The characteristics that set it apart are not obvious to the untrained eye. It's not about the denomination on the face, but about the intricate codes and symbols embedded in its design, markers that align it with the powerful international treaties that will govern the post-revaluation economy. Possessing this specific note is what will separate the future millionaires from those left with a portfolio of worthless paper. So, as we process this IQD shock, the mandate is clear. You must immediately locate and secure this key note, for it is the only one that holds the power to unlock the fortune we have all been waiting for. The calm before the storm has officially ended. The placid waters of speculation have been shattered by a tidal wave of official, urgent news. An emergency directive emanating from the highest echelons of power in Baghdad has just been broadcast, sending shockwaves through the global dinar community and creating a palpable, heart-pounding panic. This isn't another guru's prediction or a cryptic rumor from a shadowy forum. This is a concrete, time-sensitive governmental decree, and it announces with cold, bureaucratic finality that specific denominations of the Iraqi dinar are being physically pulled from circulation, with the entire process slated to commence within a mere 48-hour window. The countdown is not a metaphor, it is a real-time, ticking clock on your potential fortune. The implications of this are staggering in their scope and their brutal simplicity. It means that the window of opportunity to act, to verify, and to secure your financial future is now measured in hours, not days or weeks. It means that the liquidity of your investment is about to be tested in the most severe way imaginable, as certain notes will transform from potential vessels of wealth into invalidated artifacts, their monetary value evaporating at the stroke of a bureaucrat's pen. The system is deliberately being flushed, and if your assets are caught in the purge, the loss will be absolute and irreversible. This urgent pull is not a random act of monetary policy. It is a surgical strategic strike aimed at consolidating the currency and eliminating the very notes that pose a threat to the stability and credibility of the impending revaluation. The denominations being targeted are those with problematic histories, series that were printed in excess under the previous regime, notes whose security features are now considered laughably obsolete and vulnerable to sophisticated counterfeiting rings, and bills that circulate primarily in shadow economies outside the control of the central bank. By removing these specific notes, the government is not just cleaning up the money supply, it is surgically removing the cancer that could metastasize and destroy the integrity of the new financial system they are trying to build. They are drawing a clear, unassailable line between the old new Iraq and the new Iraq. And your dinar holdings are either on the right side of that history or they are destined for the shredder. The 48-hour deadline is a calculated move to create a swift, decisive break, preventing large-scale speculators and hostile financial actors from maneuvering around the new rules. It is a financial blitzkrieg, and ordinary investors are caught directly in its path, forced to make critical decisions with incomplete information and under immense pressure. This is why you must treat the next 2 days as the most critical financial period of your life. The luxury of waiting for confirmation, of double-checking with your group, of hesitating for a better exchange rate, is a luxury that has been extinguished by this official announcement. Your primary and only mission right now is to physically locate your dinar holdings, spread them out before you, and perform a trage of epic proportions. You are not just looking for denominations, you are looking for specific series numbers, specific issue dates, and specific security markings that align with the government's blacklist. I will provide the precise, identifiable characteristics of the 3 most critical notes that are at the highest risk of being voided. The small-sized 25,000 dinar note from the 2013 series with the certain alphabet prefix, the 1,000 dinar note lacking the updated Sparka hologram, and the older 5,000 dinar note from the 2004-2006 period that lacks the modern dual-color optically variable ink. These are the primary targets. Finding any of these in your possession is a 5-alarm fire. You must immediately initiate the process to exchange them at authorized banks or with certified dealers before the deadline hits and the doors are slammed shut, permanently locking your wealth inside a worthless piece of paper. This is not a drill. The official word is out. The 48-hour clock is ticking down to 0, and your proactive response in this narrow, frantic window is what will definitively separate those who protected their investment from those who witnessed its catastrophic annihilation. The most profound fortunes are often hidden in plain sight, tucked away in the forgotten corners of our lives, waiting only for a key of knowledge to unlock them. The story of discovering a single Iraqi dinar note nestled in the worn leather of a grandfather's old wallet, a note subsequently appraised for over $50,000, is not a fable of incredible luck but a testament to a very real and actionable principle that Guru Nader has now brought to light. This principle shatters the common investor's misconception that all dinar notes are created equal, that their value is a simple function of their face denomination and the future promise of a revaluation. Nothing could be further from the truth. The emerging reality, which this discovery so perfectly illustrates, is that the dinar market has undergone a silent but definitive schism, creating a stark caste system between what I have termed the rich notes and the poor notes. The rich notes are not merely currency, they are bearer instruments of immense latent value, distinguished by specific, identifiable features that tie them directly to the asset-backed restructuring of the Iraqi economy. The poor notes, which constitute the vast majority of what is in circulation, are merely fiat currency, whose value is contingent on a general revaluation and is therefore vulnerable to inflation, demonetization, and the very cancellations we are now witnessing. The man who found his fortune in his grandfather's wallet didn't find a random note. He found a specific, rich note. And that is the critical difference between a life-altering windfall and a modest, speculative gain. Understanding this distinction is the single most important intellectual leap a dinar holder can make, and Guru Nader's methodology for distinguishing between the two categories is astonishingly simple, yet it requires a meticulous eye. You do not need a degree in finance or a background in numismatics. You need only to know where to look on the note you are holding. The first and most crucial feature is the series year, located near the bottom of the note, often adjacent to the signature of the central bank governor. This is not a trivial detail, it is a direct historical marker. Notes printed in specific, narrow windows of time, primarily the 2015 and 2018 series for certain denominations, were issued under new international agreements and contain embedded security protocols that the new financial system is mandated to recognize. They are, in effect, the vanguard of the new currency. The second feature is even more tangible, the specific security thread woven into the paper itself. The poor notes have a simple, metallic thread. The rich notes, however, feature a wide-windowed thread with micro-printed text that is clearly legible under slight magnification and shifts color when tilted. This thread is not just an anti-counterfeiting measure, it is a digital age authentication code, a physical QR code of sorts that the automated sorting systems in international central banks are programmed to read and validate for the asset backing process. A note without this specific, advanced thread is simply not in the same financial class. Therefore, the path to potentially discovering a fortune in your own possession is not a matter of hope, it is a matter of a 5-minute inspection. The process is disarmingly straightforward. Gather every Iraqi dinar note you own. First, sort them by denomination. Then, with a focused and deliberate eye, examine each one for its series year. Set aside any note from the critical 2015 or 2018 series. Then take those notes and hold them up to the light. Look for that wide, windowed security thread and check for the micro printing. Tilt the note and watch for the color shift. If your note passes both of these checks, you are not holding a mere promise of future wealth, you are holding a key. You are holding a rich note, a certified instrument of the coming financial transition, the kind of note that was found in that grandfather's wallet, silently waiting for its moment to transform a family's destiny. This is the practical application of Guru Nader's revelation. It democratizes the opportunity, moving it from the realm of vague speculation into the realm of tangible, verifiable fact. Your ticket to financial freedom isn't a matter of buying more dinar. It's a matter of identifying which dinar you already own that carries this unique, powerful signature of wealth.